Few folk who don't believe in me, but there's plenty of other people trying to reach out. And there's several big dogs who can see that I'm a threat, so they block my signal when I'm trying to speak.
Yo, it's Hush Hush Media, no ego, 1151 presents Testing the Water 2. Make some noise, Wallasey, come on. Right now we've got a written battle, and this is going to be the biggest battle the Widow will ever see, I'm not even lying right now. So we've got Bombshell vs Death Majors. Make some noise for the pair of them.
Alright, we're introduced from the start. Right, so it's great to be battling the most overrated, underrated, overrated MC to have battled in just slightly less leagues than me. His crew, No Ego, are basically a clothing company. Stan taller than me, that just went dead. Stan taller than me, we've been doing radio shows, smashing like live play. I've got interviews on magazines, TV. They have brought out some new hats. No Ego branded, spats, combats, wraparound fucking skirts, bras with detachable straps. They've got like baseball bats, doormats, mattresses, glass chalices, plastic toy palaces, branded machines for kidney dialysis, low fat. In fact, everything but fucking tracks.
It's true though, isn't it? It's true.
They're more H&M than M&M. More top man than top boy.
Yeah.
The brand is a ploy. It's a fucking decoy. It's a cheap ploy. But you see, there are rappers out there that will sell shirts to promote their music, and that's a fair cop. But these guys are selling music to support a fucking sweatshop.
Oh my god.
Now these brummies, they are some cunning G's. They're clearly gunning for some arts funding. They've had 2 special needs, an OAP. All they need now is spokes, AHAB, someone LGBT, and a refugee MC, and that is a lottery grant guaranteed.
Shit.
However, when your boy Nine the other day, he was feeling a bit down, a bit blue. Whose comment online cheered him up? Oh, that would be mine. Where were you, James? Where were you? You're the kind who is inclined to be a bit of a fair weather friend. He only supports people when their lives are on a bit of an upswing. As an example, the worse Absolution gets at his battling, the less Death Majors wants to fucking know him. This douche is a Judas, a backstabber, so you best smash set the standard or you're next, Macca.
I like that.
Yo, second round of Death, first round of Death Majors.
Let's
Just to fuck it up.
I knew at some point, me and you were bound to clash. You're a name on the circuit, so for me this is a major match. Your favourite, but why? I don't understand. Does anyone actually rate you, Jen? Can you name a fan?
Oh man.
No, I'm talking fans like I'm getting blown away. So I'll send the blades you've used on your arm spinning into your face. If you don't know what I mean, look at the welts on her arm. Jen's a typical emo, the way she used to self-harm. Wasn't that what you wanted? Was it too hateful? The fuck you think I wouldn't get overly personal? See, when I battle, I actually want my opponent to die. I travelled into your past like my name was Marty McFly. So the outcome of this battle, you'll end up a loser. Say fuck your past, let me take it back to the future. The marks on her arms are from her teenage years. She was a teen tearaway, brought her parents to tears. They spoiled Jen, but she left them stressing. She was out at 14 sucking dicks for heroin injections. At night, her dad used to creep into her room, he used to molest her. She never told anyone in case her family had questioned. So now I know why this posh cunt had elocution lessons. Because if my father raped me, I'd also be ashamed of my heritage.
Shit! Yo, hold it down, hold it down.
Now let me be archaic. And start bar biting. The reason she never told anyone her dad raped her, because she actually liked it. So I'll call her Django, because when you put the D in front of Jen, she keeps it silent.
Jim! Slim Jim with your trim limbs. To date, the only battles that you've had that have actually had significant views were those against Uppercase and Jakes. So until now, you've not really been playing with high stakes. It's true. You see, your prediction videos have had more views than most of your actual fucking battles. Had more watches than your clashes. There are more notches on Blitz's bedposts than there are thumbs up on your uploads. The only funny part about your battle with UK Rhino was somebody slagging off Absolution in the background. You lost to a guy who choked and then improvs by dissing himself for half a fucking round. Now let's talk about your ex-mate Jakes. Yes, yeah. I had to come up. Make no mistake, if I had shagged Jakes, then he wouldn't still be a virgin. Anally speaking, I mean. And then his BBMs to Jasmine would have been him getting advice on anal stings and hemorrhoid cream. For real though, I know you took that split from that worm hard. You printed out all your pictures from Facebook, especially to burn them in your backyard. Think about it. Then you burnt your SD card. Then you realised that you were actually a complete retard. So you rang Mark Zuckerberg in desperation saying, please get them erased. And when he couldn't do that, he cried himself to sleep for days. This spud-faced troglodyte with a bad underbite has got a face more wrinkle-wrapped than Reelapse's nan's granny flaps. I only know that because I've seen their holiday snaps. Deaf Majors though, I didn't realise he was prone to such massive flights of fancy. Stop pretending that you own BBs. I've got a mate who drinks there regularly and he says that the real owner is Chris Fenlon. Now, you can argue the point with me more than you like, but he's won much more MMA fights than you, son, so if he says he owns the place, I know who my bets are on. Yeah. Time.
Done, DeMarco.
Ready, yeah?
Yo, let's just make some fucking noise for the previous round.
Yeah, make some
No, second round on Death Majors, let's go!
This is a hip-hop and battle night, not the crazy house of a weekend. I said, this is a hip-hop and battle night. Who let this crazy goth freaking turned up like, looking like the zombie Michael Keaton. And people keep telling me I'm cold. They say, Majors, you're freezing. So turn the aircon on, allow me to bring the heat in. Because Jen's not a battler, she's a groupie. And at this event, she's steaming. She's like, which rapper can I fuck next? Against me, no chance of success. I've got half your battles and I'm still the best. And I'm done mentioning your arms are severed. You look like a Tim Burton character that's been stitched together. And the scar. Shit. And the scar. You look like a Tim Burton character that's been stitched together. So I guess the marks on your arms are why your empire's dismembered. Nice. Yeah, so you like that one. Now, Uppercase told me this was a battle of abuse versus wits. Fuck you to anyone who doubts my intelligence just because my bars drop heavier than an elephant. Just because I don't spit bars like a scientific professor speaking to scientific students in a scientific lecture. Just because your album's empirical evidence. Of course, next to that, my album title's gonna seem basic. You can be as smart as you want. You're disfigured as fuck and you need a facelift. So,
yo, hold it down, stop talking, man, come on.
So tonight, you end your life, that's my mission. I'm John Rambo putting knives in trees. You're the teasel that I'm killing. But why is it me taking your life when it was your own wrist you were slitting? Fingerless gloves, steampunk, that's his style. She'll quote Poe and dreams of suicide. But I'll call you a fake and a coward because you tried and failed to take your own life. She'll slit her throat if she loses tonight. But don't worry, she's a fraud, so she'll use a fake knife. So next time you want attention, Jen, put a noose around your neck and pull it tight. So you're gonna fucking kill yourself, at least do it right.
Yo, make some noise for that round. And everybody who's talking, stop talking because it's disrespectful as fuck. And these have come from a long way, man. So stop being dickheads and shut the fuck up. Just everyone who's talking in it, just shut up. Yo, third round on Bombshell, are you ready?
Let's go. Deaf Majors pretends to be a Twitter troll, but really he's a sensitive soul. He's having difficulty dealing with concealing his feelings. He's an old-fashioned macho man who has problems dealing with his issues. When Optimus Prime died, came home, they found he was surrounded with tissues, and he'd rather pretend that he was having a little bit of time playing the pink oboe with some extra lotion than actually dealing with a little bit of human emotion. And I'm not inventing this. If you scroll down my timeline, you can see that he's liked about 95% of my statuses. He is smitten with my writtens. By his own ambition, he has trouble getting ammunition for opponents, particularly people in my position who he actually rates. Actually, it's not a real word, who he actually rates. It pains him to write those hate hype updates. In fact, he posted so much about me that Shrevey got proper peeved. Which leads me to something that needs to be said. You guys are way too similar looking. Please never conceive. Let's talk about how he's been stalking me. Gawking at me from the back of public transport. He makes dumpster diving look like an extreme sport, the way he's been rummaging through my bins, desperate for fucking personals. He even painted himself purple and stood next to the wheelies for days. Didn't even blink when my steely gaze regarded him with suspicion. He was a man on a proper mission. He then changed his position, stood by my front door with his kind of pillar box shaped mouth and jaw open, hoping for some mail. But his plan was derailed when somebody mistook his nostril for a fucking, like, and tried to put a key in it, and they failed. His plan was flawed. Time.
Bombshell. Yo, make some noise.
Third round on Deaf Majors.
By the way, hashtag Bombshell on a bus if you're naughty.
Yes.
3 rounds in, these people have witnessed you die. Beg Nick to keep it hush-hush, no evidence of the homicide. For the rest of your career, don't write another bar or spit another rhyme. On your career, call time. Because I've proved to these people you're not a battler. Yo, if you buy her album, you'll see she's not a rapper. This bitch is nothing but an actor. And although it's filmed, it's not for TV. So lose the accent, Jen, it's not Downton Abbey. You posh slag, I'm shocked you're the same age as me. But I guess this is what happens when you mix rock with methamphetamines. When you were on that shit, did you ever stop to think that it would ruin your chances of giving birth or having kids? So if drugs have made you barren, you'll never be your daughter's heroine. And I'm done telling them you've done smack. Let me talk about how you literally murdered a track. Because I got information on your performance in Mank. You emptied the room, everyone from Briggs to Shotty said you were wank. Then you went on Facebook and offered supporters your thanks. Who are your fans, Jen? Point them out if you can find them. Because I bailed at the shipping forecast after watching you at Mike Check. So I'm gutted that you battling is something these people have had to witness. But if I can turn them away from buying your music, then we're all winners. So stay the fuck out of my business! Now that rendition was more than quite shit. But it's better than the ramblings of this dyke bitch. You think I should call time then? Nah, let's talk about your birthday, Jen. Because that was chocolate, wasn't it? Because that was chocolate, wasn't it? A room full of your family and friends. No, her birthday night out was me, her and Glenn.
My mates died. One died the week of my EP launch. Look back on my timeline.
Me, her and Glenn.
R.I.P.
I bought her a drink, high-fived her. I stayed for an hour because I felt sly on her. The real reason no one turns up, Jen, no one really likes you.
Body bag.
It wasn't really.
Yo, it's Reelapse Grand Defined here at Testing the Waters 2. Shout out to Hush Hush Media. Just watched Bombshell versus Deaf Majors. You know what, it was a sick battle, close as hell. I knew it was going to be a great battle though. I'm going to break it down though. I think I'm giving Bombshell the first. Deaf Majors, it was really tight the second, but it's going to have to go to Deaf just because of the motives. And then the last round, to be honest, Bombshell faded a bit, to be honest, so James just continued to be a beast, so goes to death.
Calcium Kid, jazz music, biatch. It was a good battle. Do you know what? I'm going to give Def it over the 3. I thought he was better in all 3 rounds. I did think Bombshell's first was really good, but I just thought some of the things he touched on as well, I thought it was more poignant to the battle, so I gave it to Def. Yeah, that's it. Jazz music, biatch. Ah!
Blitz, Manchester, judging Death Majors versus Bombshell at Testing the Waters 2. Basically, I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but I'm just going to say that every round of Death Majors just seems to have a lot more impact and like force in every bar, so I'm just going to have to give it Death Majors.
Welcome back to Hush Hush Media. Now we go over 5 presents Testing the Water 2. Make some noise right now. Right, we just had a sick battle. Bombshell vs Death Majors. And the judges give you 3-0 to Death Majors.
No ego, Hush Hush Media all the time. Holla man, holla ram.
How would they hear than me? My lyrics shine so bright, you can read them in the stars and sci-fi. These other rappers' horror shows, time to give it up, man, you can